Welcome back to Cityline. I'm excited by our next guest. This is Tracey Oster. She is the Executive Director of Downtown on the Go. Welcome, Tracey.
Thanks so much, Phaedra. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be back. The first time I was here was really early on when I just started the position. So I'm excited to be back and to give an update.
Great. And you're right. When we first had you, it was a little bit new to you. Sorry to be a little unfair. However, you definitely have had some time on your side, and you've had some pretty significant achievements and activities going on. So I'd love to know and share with our viewers, how are things going?
Things are going great. So I will tell you, it is hard to start a new job during the middle of a pandemic when everybody's working from home. I am definitely an extrovert, so being around people and having that energy, is really important. So that's been, I think, the biggest challenge, being able to form those relationships in the community, get my team together and that kind of thing. So, but like everybody else, we're managing. And yeah, it's going good. We've been able to do a lot of our events that we normally do. We're doing them like everybody else, virtually, online, or whatever. So, but we're still plugging along and doing what we do.
Excellent. And Tracey, for those viewers who don't know, give us a little bit of a background in terms of what Downtown on the Go means to the Tacoma community.
Yeah, so Downtown on the Go is the transportation advocate and resource for anybody whose life is in downtown Tacoma. Historically, we have been really focused on downtown Tacoma, but the last couple of years we've expanded a little bit out into some of the other communities where it's important that we help to support folks to have options for transportation. So we do that. We educate the community on how to advocate with elected officials. And then we have events that really are we're just trying to get the word out to folks about what their options are for transportation. I know that in Tacoma, as we're growing and we're getting more, dense housing, that transportation is really important. Always has been, but I think now it's even kind of elevated because of that. And so we're just, trying to work to get folks out of single occupancy vehicles, ride your bike, walk, and just, make a difference in how you get around.
And I understand, like many of us going through the pandemic, we've all had to make some pretty significant shifts in our business practices. What is the single biggest shift that you all have had to make with Downtown on the Go?
Well, the biggest thing is almost all the events that we do normally are in person, out in the public. We have a walk series. We do bike riding events. We do forums where we gather people together and just talk about transportation related topics. And of course, we haven't been able to do that at all. So I will say I'm really proud of the work that my team has done. We've gone, virtual for most of our events now. We just wrapped up our walk. We do a walk series all summer long, and we just wrapped that up. But we took an app, it's called GeoTourist app, and we were able to do our walk series where folks could go on their own at their own time with this app, and they could still get the information that we would have given if we would have been in person. So we did Foss Waterway, we did a mural walk with all the which was really cool. The artists were actually talking about their own artwork. That was really cool. So anyway, so that I think has been, to be able to continue to have that outreach and that education, even in this, even in COVID, I think it's been really, really important, really good.
I think it's great the way that you all have been able to really shift and focus on what is going to continue to engage with your user base. And with that, then, what do you see as that next step or that next iteration of Downtown on the Go in terms of post-pandemic life? Has it changed the way that people will be interacting with Downtown on the Go, or how they're going to get about with regards to transportation throughout Tacoma? Share a little bit about what that may look like.
Yeah, that's a great question. One of the things we're doing is we are working with businesses, local business leaders, as they think about coming back, to in-person work. And is this an opportunity to maybe change the way people think about transportation? So it's what are your plans? What are your policies for telework? What are you thinking? And so we're being able to have those conversations and help support businesses as they bring bring people back to work. And I think that's one thing that's definitely different for us to be in kind of in that arena. But I do think it's important, and I do really believe it's an opportunity right now.
I definitely think it's an opportunity too. And knowing the Tacoma community as well as both of us do, what are some of the agencies that you're working with to advance Downtown on the Go's priorities and initiatives?
Yeah, so we partner closely with the transit agencies, Pierce Transit and Sound Transit. When Downtown on the Go was started, it was actually started as a program of the Chamber of Commerce. So they are still one of our main partners, and then with City of Tacoma. So those really are our biggest kind of partners that we work with on an ongoing basis. We also partner with other agencies in the community, kind of like agencies. Second Cycle. We work with the Hilltop Action Coalition and other organizations like that in the community. And really, it's just interesting because transportation intersects with everything, housing, how you get to, the grocery store, those kinds of things. So being able to be a part of the organizations in the community that wouldn't normally really think about transportation in those arenas, but to be part of it because it is so interconnected.
And I think it's a great opportunity, as you mentioned, is to also connect people with the resources that are available to them that they might not have had to think about otherwise because of their difference in where their work location is or how they're getting to work or potentially some other locations that they're having to relocate to. So I think it's fabulous that Downtown on the Go is really there and prominent in our community to help bridge those gaps that some people might have getting around, because certainly the pandemic is not stopping what we do. It's just making a shift and pivot in ways that we didn't think possible, but we're all overcoming them as a community. And it's really, truly great work that Downtown on the Go is doing. And I'm curious, just like our viewers at home or wherever they might be live streaming us, is how did the Scavenger Hunt go?
It was good. So the Scavenger Hunt is the last in our walk series that we do that I was talking about over the summer. Typically, we would do it in person and people would go, we give clues about different places around Tacoma and people learn about Tacoma and they get their clues or they get the answers to the clues. What we did this year, being kind of shifting, is we did a week-long scavenger hunt where folks just had on their own time, had the opportunity to go find out where the answers for the clues were. And we had about almost 240 people that registered, which is pretty good, right? Kind of on par with what we've been doing, what we've had before. And we had about 100 or so people that actually completed it and turned in their clue sheets for prizes. We ended the event by having a kind of a celebration event down in Tolleson Plaza. And this was kind of our first event really where we've been out in the public again. So we kind of kept it low key because we don't want a lot of people, but it was really fun. It was unfortunately, it was a day where it was like 98 degrees and the smoke had just come in. So we didn't have as many people there as we would have liked, but still folks came out. We had music, we had games, and then we did a drawing for the folks that completed their Scavenger Hunt clue list, and so.
Sounds like it was a great success. And again, it's very likely that you all are touching audiences that may not have yet been aware of or plugged into Downtown on the Go. And with that, I'm really curious, since you all have done a lot of virtual activities and connectedness to the Tacoma community, what does that look like once we continue to push our way out of COVID? Will you continue to do in-person as well as still offer some virtual opportunities for people to engage with the activities and programs?
Yeah, those are conversations we're having right now with our board of directors, with my staff. I feel like it's going, for a while anyway, at least, it's going to continue to be at least partially virtual. So what we're trying to figure out is how do you have an event or a meeting where you have people in person and then you have people, virtually as well, to make sure that everybody's involved, everybody's engaged. But I really see us like that. So the walk series, I think we've had more people participate in it because they had the option to do it with the app and on their own time. So we actually have got more participation. We do, during the winter, we do Friday forums and talk about different topics. And we've had more people attend those because they're virtually. We can get speakers from across the country because they can sit at home and be part of them. So we will continue to have some sort of virtual element, I am sure. But we're excited to get back out and be in the community. I mean, that's what we do. So we're excited to be able to get back out and be with people and be in the, do our walks again. But I just don't see, at least probably another year or so, everything being back totally in person.
Mhm. And Tracey, how can our viewers support Downtown on the Go?
Thanks for asking that. We're a nonprofit organization, so any support financially is always welcome. We also are always looking for volunteers, and even though we're not doing stuff in person right now, we still do get community input from our volunteers. So we have committees, whether you're interested in the walk series or biking or transit, all of those are important to what we do. And so we have folks that volunteer from the community to give us input on that. So always look for that. You can go to our website, downtownonthego.org, and check out the opportunities there. And then always, if somebody, I really like talking to people in the community about what we do. So if anybody just wants more information or maybe wants to, just pop into some of our meetings just to see what we're doing, I'm happy to have that as well.
Tracey, I know I can speak on behalf of our viewers, but you all are doing a great job making sure that people don't have to feel isolated because of the pandemic. And I applaud you for all of the efforts of you and your team to really showcase what it is that Downtown on the Go can do for our community and still get people out and about. And quite frankly, I think you've been with us for quite a number of years. You sound like a pro at all this.
Thanks. Yeah, no, it's great. I love Tacoma as well. So I'm just excited to be here. And the work that we're doing, I agree with you. It's important work. So thanks for having me so I can talk about it, and happy to come back again in the future.
Excellent. And thank you for joining us so much, Tracey. Again, huge applause to you and your team. Keep up the great work. We'll see you out on the streets and in downtown Tacoma. And for our viewers, make sure you go to downtownonthego.org to plug in and see how you can be a part of all of their greatness. And then stay right here with us. We'll be right back with more Cityline.